Hey y'all, hey, it's your girl Tay. Welcome to Live with Tay, where we have real conversations with dope people you should know. And I always put you down with the hottest events because y'all know I be outside. I bees outside. That's what I do. So today I have two very special guests that have a beautiful story about an amazing business that they have together and how in the midst of adversity, they were able to still keep going and be stronger than ever. So welcome to Live with Tay, the co-founders of CreativeJunkFood. It's not food. Y'all are going to find out what it's about in just a second. So welcome to Live with Tay. My new cousin, Candice. What up, Candice?
What's up? How you doing?
I am amazing. And my newer cousin, Nabeeh. Did I get it right, Nabeeh?
You got it perfect.
Yes.
Woo!
Yep.
You know how it is. I don't never want to mess up anybody's name, but welcome to Live with Tay. I'm so happy that these two creative masterminds could take some time out of their busy schedule to have a real authentic conversation with us here on Live with Tay. So let's just get right into it. What is CreativeJunkFood for our viewers that have no earthly idea about your business?
Yeah. You want to start, Candice, or do you want
Yeah,
to?
so Creative Junk Food. So basically, we do graphic design, murals, animation, motion graphics, web design. I mean, basically, we do it all. Yes.
So all my viewers, if you're like, oh, I don't know about this episode, you better chime in, because if you got a business and you know you're like me, you got personality, but you don't get all of the creativity together, CreativeJunkFood is going to help you out with that.
And
Now,
Tay,
what would you say?
and yeah, just to simplify it for people, it's branding and digital marketing. So all those things that Candice mentioned are wrapped up in the branding side, and then the digital marketing side really just helps us help people put those in the places where they're going to communicate best.
I love it. I love it. And so what made you all just chilling, hanging out, doing your thing, say, you know what, we're going to birth this particular business? How did it come to be?
Well, it started with us. So this was like 2009-ish, 2010-ish.
Okay.
I did a music video for a local artist named Uptown XO here in DC. And then after that, people started to really kind of like that whole thing. And then, Candice and I, we went to high school together, and two of our other high school mates at that time, Andre and Thomas as well. We just all linked up and said, hey, well, we want to do more creative stuff. And I think that, we can get together and think creatively and keep putting out this type of effort, like it could be something. Like I don't think we knew what it would have become. We just kind of started with animated music videos because that seemed to be like the different thing, like the new hotness, like just like, oh yeah, something different that we can do, and different from our day jobs as well. So it was like, let's do this nights and weekends and make something of it, and we'll see where it goes.
I love that. And so for some of you young people that might be scrolling, yes, people did watch music videos, because I was just telling somebody the other day, do music videos even still exist? Like, we don't have any platforms other than, I guess, YouTube, but do people still watch music videos?
They still exist.
Yeah.
I think people think of them differently now, and I think it's smart to think of it differently. Like you still have full length, 3-minute music videos that people do, but then like on platforms like TikTok or Instagram, you might have a really shortened version of it where you might loop a bunch of things, which it still gets to the point because, all right, here's my marketing hat. Right?
I was going to say, he was taking it there. I'm like, yeah, tell me more.
It's all about creating awareness, It's all about creating awareness that an artist exists, that got a great song. You should buy their album or download their album, listen to it. Then you should go see them live, or you should buy their merch. It's all like part of the funnel, And so it's kind of like similar to what I was doing children's books. It's funny. All these sales funnels just kind of run together. It's like, make somebody aware that you exist. First, have a product. Number one, have a good product. Then make people aware you exist. And then like shepherd them into the ways that you exist, in the ways that they can interact with you and be part of it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Listen, now you didn't gave the people too much golden gem right there, because that right there is a hell of a formula, and I love it. I love it. And so, creative junk food. You all, at first you're just like, let's just see what this is. When did y'all realize that you really had something special, and you could finally tell your other jobs or what you were doing, deuces, we're gonna do this full time?
I mean, I feel like Candice took lead on
yeah, I took lead on that one. It was I coming up on 30. I was like, look, either
the epiphany, like I gotta do something different.
It's like, look, either you're gonna do it or you're not gonna do it. Like and so I did it. In 2016, I left my job, and I was like, I'm going full time into creative junk food, and then other was right behind me. So
yeah. And then the backstory on that too is we actually, we started in 2010, right? With the music videos and all that. And then we kind of had like a little like bump in success. We did an exhibit with the Smithsonian, and that was like in 2011-ish or whatever.
Okay.
Something like that. But I feel like by the time like 2012 came around, like honestly, we were just kind of burnt out between like, because it was like we were doing our day jobs. Like, I was a senior web developer, and I did, I was kind of creating in a different way. And then Candice was an art director at her spot. And it was like, we were spending like weekends doing this, and we were spending weekdays. We're up to like 3 a.m., 4 a.m. Like we're dealing with music artists. And I'm going to just tell y'all music artists out there right now.
Give them a pep talk now.
Yeah.
Give them a pep talk.
Yeah, that's right. It's pep talk, right? Y'all need to talk to each other and realize what it is y'all are doing out here, because it might take you 2 hours to make a song. It's going to take somebody 12, 13 weeks to make this amazing video you want.
Yeah, exactly.
And and if you're only paying them $500, man, they might as well go work at McDonald's. They might as well go work at McDonald's and ball on that budget, and not what you giving them. So
listen, I wish I had sound effects to say boom, because that right there was a boom. That was a boom. And so let's really get into it, because a lot of people that are watching probably entrepreneurship full time is not for the faint at heart, right? No. And so there's somebody right now that is working a 9-to-5, or I like to call it, they're working a job that is currently funding their dream until the dream can fund itself, right? So what are some tips that you would give someone that's in that place that you all were, that might be feeling a little burnt out, but they need a little pep talk to keep going in the midst of trying to balance the two?
I mean, I would say that honestly, they should just keep pushing. Even if, like I said, it's burnout. I mean, I feel like especially nowadays too. Like you gotta go on. Like you just gotta pursue it. And like honestly, it's like no matter what, you know what I'm saying. Like, no matter what's the burnout. It's like whatever. No matter like the fog or whatever, like once that clears and you realize, you know what I'm saying, they're like, oh, I got something here, you know what I'm saying, to do something, and this is something that's important to me, you know what I'm saying, something that matters, and something that I can share with the world.
That part.
And then like once it's honestly just keep on pushing, baby. You can do it. You can do it.
No, that's good, Candice, because a lot of times in the midst of the smoke, you think that the smoke is always going to be there, right?
Exactly.
Right in the middle of the smoke, it don't feel like the smoke is ever going to fade, but you all are living testimonies, examples that the smoke does fade and that it gets better on the other side.
Yeah, and I think too, I think you got to get out of just being in your own space for too long, because you can, naturally, entrepreneurship in and of itself is a creative field, regardless of what you do. Right? You have to be able to pull ideas in from everywhere and kind of rethink and try things, fail, try again, just tinker with things. And so it's very important not to get too much in your head and let that self-doubt take over, because those long nights will start to weigh on you. You start to hallucinate and all that type of stuff. And so I think it's important to find some type of supportive community, if you don't already have that, to where you can, bounce some of these ideas or just kind of just get out of your own mind, your own space, because it is important to keep pushing, but you don't want to keep pushing a rock that just ain't gonna go up the hill all the way either. So be able to assess that, like, and sometimes you got to do less. Do less of the good thing that you do, right? Don't spread yourself too thin because you can't do it for everybody. But focusing on one or two things is better than focusing on 10 things, because you could do those one or two things really, really well.
And they could open up the door for those other 8 things that you had to put on the side. Because I always tell people, maybe you have, especially if you're a creative, you've got all these amazing ideas. Well, you can't do all of them at one time. You're going to burn yourself out, right?
No.
So prioritize them. And like you said, maybe those 1 or 2. And then once you master those or get them in a good method, then you can add some additionals, or maybe, those will open up the doors for others. And so I love it. Yeah. So y'all said something earlier, like, you had an exhibit in the Smithsonian. Like, let's round of applause that, because that is something that everybody is doing. So pop your collar and let us know a little bit about some of the projects that Creative Junk Food has been behind.
For sure. The one with the Smithsonian was called Conversations in the Contemporary, and it was part of a larger exhibit called R2RA. There's a guy named Stephen Cummings, who's a really accomplished photographer and now filmmaker. And we were brought in as sort of the complementary exhibit to what he did. So we produced an animation as well as some paintings for an exhibit and just kind of explored, the self, the inner self, basically.
Exactly.
Okay. Well, I love that. And so for all of my DMV family, because yes, Atlanta, my home is Atlanta, but my heart will forever be with the DMV. I mean, it's just what it is. And so there is a few major projects that have just taken place not too long ago that you all were behind. So I got to see about this go-go bus. DC Go-Go is a way of life. It's a culture. It's a movement. It's just part of Black excellence, is what I like to say. And so can you tell those that are watching, how did you all assist with that particular project?
Yes. So, well, I guess you can just start, Nabeeh, as far as.
So that relationship came about because we did a project with the organization called 202 Creates, where we created these phone booths where you could play flat paint and get music sounds out of it. And then some months later, the Go-Go Museum found out about us, and then they let us know what they were planning, what they were doing. They had this museum coming, but they wanted to start with a mobile experience while the brick and mortar was being developed. And so that's when they came to us to help them conceptualize and design the bus.
I love it. And so as we talk about being creatives and being entrepreneurs, there's a backstory to the back of this. And so in the midst of this particular project, which if you're not from the DC area, listen, this is big. To have the museum, that is like a big deal. And so in the midst of that particular project, Candice, girl, you had the audacity. The enemy thought that they was just gonna try to get you, girl.
I know, right?
Tell us about the obstacle that came up in the midst of you all working on this major project.
So I mean, we was working on a bunch of stuff, like not only the Go-Go bus, but we was doing the
Marion Berry project.
Gotcha.
We was working on a meal for Project Create. So we was just working on a lot of stuff, and then I had a stroke. So in June of 2023, I was out. I don't know, I was fine, you know what I'm saying? We was working on the meal at a time. We dapped up. As far as me and Nabeeh, so we dapped up. We figured out what was left, whatever. Then I went home, and then next thing I know, I was out for 4 days. And when I
Wow.
woke up, half my skull was gone.
Mm,
And yeah, I mean, I really had to, I have to learn to, walk, talk, my speech. Like I
mm,
still have a problem with my speech, but I'm learning, I'm getting better. But I mean, it's just a journey, as far as like, wow, like
yeah.
everything just kind of just shuts down. I mean, I know that people was super worried about me.
Hmm.
And just, yeah, I mean, it was very challenging to
I
just
can imagine.
overcome and just kind of get through it all.
It's
But I mean,
something
yeah.
nobody can. I mean, I'm only speaking of this as somebody, supporting the person who had the stroke, but
Hmm.
nobody can prepare you. It's one of those things like nobody can prepare you for when your business partner is out like that, and you're not only dealing with the emotional pain of the thing,
Yeah.
the worry you're
Yeah,
dealing with,
not the word.
then just the business side of things as well. It's painful, and it's like you don't know if you don't know if number one, you don't know if she's going to survive,
Yeah. Yeah.
and you don't know if the business will survive. You like everything just kind of takes a back seat, and you're like, how do I survive this? Who do I become? Not only
Mm,
for my business partner, but for myself, for
hmm.
everything else. Like, yeah, it's wild, it's wild.
No, and so for those of you all that are just tuning in, I am talking to the dynamic duo. I gave them a new name now. So the dynamic duo of Creative Junk Food, and so Candice, one of the co-founders, suffered a massive stroke 2 years ago now. Right? Is it
Yeah, yeah,
almost 2 years?
yeah.
Almost 2 years ago, and so in the midst of them working on projects, being partners in their business, all of the things and the things, just really having to overcome and still keep things rolling because you all have a full staff. When I went to your website, it is a full team of individuals with you all. So, I'm sure that that situation had a lot of emotions because your work people are your family. You spend a lot of time with the people that you work with. But
Yeah.
before we even go down that road, Candice, my question for you is how do you're young. You ain't when you think stroke, you think older
Hmm.
individuals, right? And so for you, how did it feel? What did you find out? What words of advice? Was there anything that in hindsight now that maybe the physicians, anyone told you regarding why someone so young could suffer from such a massive stroke?
I mean, as far as like the positions and everything, like I mean, to this day, I still don't know what happened to me. Like
Mm,
just and so it was very challenging for me to just like I said, like I just had to walk and talk and like my speech was off,
mm-hmm.
and so it was just a lot harder for me to actually want to go on. Besides
Mm,
the business aspect, it's just my life at this point. It's just
yeah.
my life. You know what I'm saying?
It's so different, right? Suddenly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So fast. It's just so different so quickly
Yeah.
that I haven't really, I said I still haven't gotten used to that. I'm still kind of learning, still growing. So every day is super challenging, but it's kind of reassuring. The
Hmm.
fact that like I'm still here,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
my business partner, like like we are still in this together.
Yeah.
And I feel like I don't know, man. It's just a blessing, man. I'm glad to be alive. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No,
I'm
Candace.
grateful. Absolutely, I'm grateful.
No, and just on a personal note, I had someone very close to me, similar situation, but they didn't make it, right?
I'm
And
sorry to hear
so,
that.
Yeah.
when I read your story, it reminded me that there's something extra special. There's work that still needs to be done that
Hmm.
only Candace can do, right?
Exactly. Right.
And so although my pep talk for you is that although life is different for you now, there is still life for you.
Exactly.
So keep pressing. I know it's an adjustment for you, but
Yeah.
there is something so much greater in store for you on the other side of this. And what a blessing to have such an amazing business partner.
Yes,
Because I'm sure
absolutely.
during that time process, Nabi, how was it? Like, like
Oh, it
where
was.
did
Yeah.
what was your first thought? So the day that you got the phone call and you
Oh
find
man.
out
Yeah.
that Candice is in the hospital, tell me what was your initial thoughts or reaction?
Man, when I got the first of all, it was a message first. Like I missed the call. I was in the
Oh,
shower. I got out the shower and I was about to head downtown to a whole nother thing I had to do. And um then Candace's wife, left a message. I called her back and she was just like, I think she had a stroke. She just stopped responding. We're headed to the hospital now. So I was just like, I'm headed to the hospital too. So I went down to the hospital and I just remember like it was the sun was setting, and I just remember staring at the sunset, like, what
mm-hmm,
now? Like, what now? Like, I
mm-hmm,
don't know what what happens next here. It was a lot that happened that night. She had to be airlifted to another, I think, United Medical,
No,
and
Washington Hospital Center.
yeah, Washington Hospital Center,
So,
and then in the days following it was just a lot of like pain of like community, the pain of just like picking up the pieces and being like, okay, these things still have to get done.
mm-hmm,
Communicating to all the clients that we had, what had happened, but then also just like with the bus, having to go out to Gaithersburg a bunch of times, in addition to having to finish the mural, in addition to having to deal with other projects, website projects, things like that. So I had to get help. I had to hire, thankfully, somebody who was part of a nonprofit that I'm with. She was leaving her project management job and she was looking for freelance work. Her name is Ariana Rodriguez Gidler, and she helped big time. Like it helped big time to have somebody who could help with that, because there's no way I was going to be able to do it 100% by myself. But I had to really put myself in the driver's seat, with a lot of that stuff. And I just say, I'm so thankful that Candice is gotten to where she is with it. But it was just it was a lot of pain. It's a lot of pain. Like I can't really sugarcoat it other way than just moving.
No, because we
a lot
don't
of
do that
pain and
over here.
gratitude. You know what I mean?
Keep it real.
Yeah.
So it's painful
Yeah.
because that's your partner. That's someone who you've shared your creative baby with, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
And so at that point, it's like, what is life going to be for us? What does the future hold?
Mm-hmm.
And like you said earlier, it's the emotion, right? It's the emotion of watching someone who you care for have to struggle, and there's nothing you can do about it, right? There's nothing, you can't wave a wand, you can't create an app or a web design, right? To make everything better for your business partner. And so round of applause and flowers to you, because in this day and age, a lot of people, I'm sure you're giving us just a little bit, but I'm sure there are many stories, there's many situations that took place where it could have been very easy to just say, you know what, let me just go ahead and just call it a wrap. We're just gonna hang this up for now,
right?
And we had a good run and it's over. And so hats off to you for sticking in there. What did you learn most about yourself, Nabi, through this whole situation, as it pertains to your resilience as an entrepreneur?
I mean, I just learned that I'm willing to fight, willing to stay in the fight, willing to, honor, my friends, and just push through the tough times, And I just want to say, like, people who have to go to the hospital every day for somebody they love, I could just imagine how tough that is too. Just even going to the hospital, seeing things other people are dealing with, like, and then obviously Candice having to be in the hospital. I know she wanted to get the hell up out of there.
Candice, what was the first when you got home? What was the first thing you wanted to eat? That's what I.
Oh my goodness! The first thing I wanted to eat was I got I think it was Wendy's or whatever. I was just like, let me get some Wendy's. let me go home and let me just relax. Let me be in my own bed
Yes, my
and
own
just let me just
shower,
recuperate.
everything.
Yeah, exactly. Just let
Yes.
me just breathe a little bit.
Yeah.
You
I
know.
love that. I
Yeah.
love that. And for you, Candice, as you have entered into this new season of your life, how has the health situation, or having the stroke, how do you feel it has impacted you as a creative?
I mean, as far as me as a creative, like I still have a hard time with my right hand or whatever. Like I can't do it like I used to do it now or whatever. So that's a bit a challenge. I you know what I'm saying, like behind me is a painting. Like I couldn't do that right now.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying, whereas I could do it before. So it's about just kind of me kind of growing and learning, okay, like what's next for me, like what's the next step, like what's new, what's different now,
Mm-hmm.
and also like, okay, so how am I gonna react to this? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Because I'm not gonna quit. So like that's not an option for me. So it's like, okay, well I won't quit. So what's next for me? Like, okay. So and then so yeah, I mean as a creative, it's just about me just kind of figure out what to do now. You know,
Yeah.
it's like the past is the past. It is what it is. But for the future,
What
like
we got, what we got to look forward to.
exactly what we got to look forward to.
So I believe in every situation there's a silver ray, there's something positive out of it. And so
Mhm.
although now it's new for you, what's one new thing that you've learned that you're like, okay, I like this. I can, that you've made your own through this situation.
I feel like right now, I feel like I'm more so leaning towards like putting more of my designs in a digital format or whatever. Like just okay, like now it's not, you know what I'm saying, like I still kind of can still go on board walls, you know, I can still do murals and stuff, but I'm like now it's time for me to kind of change and grow and do something differently. So now I'm kind of looking at more like vinyl designs and stuff like that,
Okay.
where I can produce it, and then somebody else can actually just print it and deliver it. You know, send somebody. So I'm just trying to do things a bit different now. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, well,
Yeah.
from someone who ain't digital, honey, Candace, let me tell you something. Thank you, because you're helping people like me who don't have that at all. And so I think you're just ahead of the game. This had to happen to get you further ahead of the game so
You're
that
right.
creative junk food could be up and up on that digital, even
Mhm.
more up and up on that digital aspect. So, what is in store for y'all? So, we're into almost the end of the first quarter. Can y'all believe
Mm.
it? Like, oh my God,
It's going by
2025.
fast.
Fast.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm kind of happy because no shade. We want to hurry up and get through 4 years. They said it, they did not. They did
Yeah.
not. I said
Yeah.
it, they did not. It's my view.
Mm.
But
Yeah.
anyway, well, what do you all have brewing and in store for the rest of 2025 and beyond?
Well, I think it's important to just understand where we are in this landscape as it relates to how the presidency and that administration is affecting essentially every part of the American economy. Um, so I think for us, we're really taking a step back to assess, what are the things that we want to take with us going forward, and then what are the things that we can add. And I think, really elevating the Creative Junk Food brand even more so, because we haven't really talked about ourselves that much.
Mhm.
We
Mm.
haven't really
Yeah.
shown our true insights into the things that we know and have a handle on within this field. So I think first and foremost is really elevating the Creative Junk Food brand, and then also in line with that too is putting more of a focus into the content marketing, digital marketing aspect of things, and being able to not only produce things that look great for people, but make sure that those things yield the results that the people want, whether that's
Yeah.
financial, whether that's community, et cetera. Because at the end of the day, we really do care about the people we work with, and we want to make sure that they're successful. And it makes sense that people know their name more than they know us, because that
Mhm.
means that we're putting them first.
Exactly.
I love that. I love that. And so, for a business owner that is looking at this live right now and they're saying to themselves, I need it, but I don't even know where to start, or I can't afford it. Because a
Mhm.
lot of times people have a misconceived notion.
Yeah.
And again, the view of what I'm about to say is a reflection of Tae. It does not have anything to do with creative junk food. I have to say that, okay?
Mm-hmm.
There's certain outsourcing that people use,
Mm-hmm.
and they swear by it because they could pay $5
Mm-hmm.
to get something for their business.
For sure.
For the people that are using that, why is it a good investment for them to invest in services that are offered by Creative Junk Food?
Well, I think it depends on what they're doing. I always say like the best thing to do is to book a 15-minute conversation, which they could do through our website, where we can actually kind of understand what it is your business does. Because I'll be the first to tell you, everybody doesn't need what we do. You might be a very true startup, and it does make sense to kind of preserve your funds just to get things going. But if you're a small business that's been around for 3 to 5 years, and you know that you need help, and you know that you're trying to do something much bigger than the here and now, then that's when you talk to people like us, because we kind of take on your understanding of your business and think about where you want to go and how to get there. And every great journey begins with small steps. So if you're on a great journey, then we're definitely great companions for you.
I love that. I love that. And so something that they said that I want to, because I have a lot of business owners that tap into Live with Tae. They said 15 minutes. If you go to their website, they get 15 minutes. It's 15, it ain't 16, it ain't 20, it's 15 minutes. So get yourselves prepared. If you're saying, you know what, do the research. They have an amazing website. If you go to their website, they've got information, they've got who they are, their services, examples of their work. Their website is remarkable. Kudos to y'all, because I wouldn't want to hire a company if the website looked janky. Y'all Creative Junk Food's website is top tier. So it's amazing. It's amazing. And so if you're thinking about setting up that call, don't waste their time. Use that 15 minutes wisely. Have it all ironed out, maybe what your questions are, etc. Because after 15 minutes, you now are charging. They got a fee because their time is valuable.
Yeah.
Okay? That part. So, and I love that. I saw that on the website. I'm like, yes, 15 minutes. I got to practice.
Right.
Anything other than 15 minutes is no longer a consultation. That is a service.
For sure.
For
sure. I mean, we're totally down to talk with somebody for an hour, but the gems that we'll give out in that hour are totally worth the cost that we'll have to charge for consultation, because I'm totally fine with giving out information that you could take and you could run with, but that information is valuable, and it's just only the reciprocative property.
And DC Power can't go off of Nabeeh was just being nice. You can't pay no bills. It's just not gonna happen like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not. And so I love that for you all. And again, look at the work that they've done. That DC Go-Go bus, I can't wait to get on there. Is it still running, y'all?
It's still running. I think they do it seasonally right now. So they're probably about to start to break it out with spring coming on.
And I hope it travels. It needs to travel to DC and to New York and all of the places, just so then that way we can support it. So I love that. And so I can't even believe we're at the end of March, and March is Women's History Month. And so, Candice, you are definitely a Black woman who is making her way as a history maker, a pioneer up through the ranks, encouraging others to keep persevering in the midst of adversity. And so for you, who has been a woman who has inspired you, or women that have inspired you along your entrepreneur journey?
So funny thing enough, I was actually going to say Angela Bassett.
Okay.
And I don't know why.
Because she went through with Ike. Oh, you thinking about Ike when she played TV?
No, I'm just thinking about just the fact that like Angela has been through some really just tough stuff. Like as far as like, you know, what I'm saying, the movie and stuff, her having kids or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, so I just feel like just Angela Bassett, just I don't know why. I just feel like that's what, I don't know, being like a strong Black woman, like that's what, you know, being like in the right headspace, you know, so you can focus and actually like get your job done and do it well. Like I feel like I think about that or whatever. And I don't know. I mean, I could name a list of women who kind of like helped me be where I am today. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, it's really just honestly, just thank you to I would say all women, especially all the Black women who.
Because honey, it's rough. It's rough out here to be a woman, but it's even rougher to be a Black woman. I don't care what nobody say on that one.
No, yeah, for sure.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, I feel like that's like, this is, you know, so like that's the newness for me, you know, so like that's the next step for me. That's you know, progress into wherever I'm gonna be, you know what I'm saying. I don't know where I'll be, but I just feel like this is like, you know, this is steps that move forward. And I feel like every Black woman has been through this.
Yeah, we may not have been through the exact same thing, but we done been through
exactly, and you continue to go through stuff. So
that part,
yeah,
all the time. Keep living. My grandmother always said, if you keep living a little bit, you could keep going through something, and that is honest to. Ooh, sometimes I'm like, ease up a little bit, ease up. And so, for those that are watching and they want to support you, maybe maybe they don't have a business need right now or whatnot, but how can any individual or business support Creative Junk Food?
They could follow us on our Instagram at CreativeJunkFood. They can refer a friend to us. They can refer another business. Anybody need a consultation, you know, that always helps. Yeah, and then they could recommend us to go on podcasts like yours and things like that. So I think those are some key ways.
Yeah.
No, I love that. And so I always tell everybody, it costs you absolutely nothing. If on your social media, if you see a flyer, if you see something pertaining to their work, guess what? It don't cost you nothing to go and share it with your community, because your community may not know anything about Creative Junk Food. And just by you mentioning them, sharing a post, encouraging others to like their social media page, we grow that footprint, and you never know. Somebody just might need them, and that person that needs them could help push Creative Junk Food up even higher than where they already are. So I just thank both of y'all for coming through. When my ship come in, and it's coming, I can see it. It's real close. But when my ship comes in, I know that I'll definitely be partnering with Creative Junk Food, because not only do you all have amazing product, but the story and the human side, y'all are just good people. And I want to sow into good soil so that I can, get some good seed or get some reap a good harvest from that as well. So thank y'all so much for hanging out with me on Live with Tae. I appreciate y'all so much. And if you enjoyed this episode of Live with Tae, which I know that you did, go ahead and hit the like, the share, the comment button, and all of those great things. And make sure that you follow Creative Junk Food on all social media platforms. My new cousin. Go ahead, Nabeeh.
Yeah, quick thing. I just want to give you your flowers. Like, I really enjoyed talking with you on this podcast. And you have a light about you, and it's been really fun just sitting here chatting with you. So I hope other people get on board too and try and get on Pep Talk with Tae. So this was great.
Yeah. Like that.
Well, I appreciate it so much. And anytime that y'all are in Atlanta, come on, because we have a really cute setup. You can see it in the background. Our studio is really, really pretty. So I would love to have y'all on the sofa. And trust me, I'm on my way to DC, and I'm definitely going to make sure that I hit y'all up when I get there. So thank y'all so much. Again, if y'all enjoyed this episode, which I know that you did, like it, share it, all of the good things. And until next time, y'all, this your girl Tae, having real conversations with dope people you should know, like Creative Junk Food. Until next time, y'all, this your girl Tae. We out. Bye, y'all. Can I get some mumbo sauce? Can y'all shoot me?
We'll send you something.
Right, we'll send you some. Don't worry about that.
It's some real chicken wings because all this
Right.
lemon pepper. All right, y'all, we out.